Hello students. Till now we have studied many the infectious and inflammatory conditions of the cornea. Today we are studying about non-infectious and non-inflammatory conditions of the cornea or epileptic conditions of the cornea like keratoconus and other disorders. So corneal ectasia means thinning of the cornea. There are many disorders where you see the thinning of the cornea. For example, keratoconus, pellucid marginal degeneration, keratoglobus, posterior keratoconus. These are the conditions where you see only the thinning of the cornea, no inflammation and no infection. Okay. So amongst these, the most common is keratoconus. So the keratoconus is, as I already told you, it is a progressive, non-inflammatory, non-infective thinning disorder of the cornea, where you see the irregular shape in the surface of the cornea. Because of that change in the shape, the corneal astigmatism also becomes abnormal. So that's why it's a Greek terminology where kerato means horn or the cornea, conus means cone-like structures. So keratoconus, cone-like cornea. So as I already told you, there is no infiltration or the vascularization or the inflammation, nothing like that thing. Where you can see the bulging of the cornea, especially in the apex of the cornea. Apex of the cornea, you see the more bulged part. Where it is, the prevalence is 54.5% in 1 lakh population, and more of it is seen in younger age group, and it is inherited. Coming to the pathological part, what exactly the occurs? Normally there is a balance between your collagen matrix which is produced and the degeneration or the degradation of that collagen by the in a controlled way by the degenerative enzymes. If there is an imbalance between, for example, if there is a decreased synthesis of collagen matrix is produced and where the degenerative enzymes are increased more, so what happens? There is an imbalance. The degeneration occurs more, whereas simultaneously the production of the collagen also less. That leads to thinning of the cornea. There are many theories which tells about why this keratoconus occurs. So amongst these are the connective tissue abnormality theory, genetic theory, hormonal theory. Sometimes it is seen that the habitual continuous eye rubbing, especially in case of allergic conjunctivitis like vernal catarrh, Down syndrome, so that also leads to the keratoconus disease. It can be associated with other ocular disorders like retinitis pigmentosa, Leber's congenital amaurosis, blue sclera, congenital cataract, aniridia, retinopathy of prematurity, and as I told you, the allergic conditions like spring cutter or the asthma. Symptoms the patient comes to you. Here the patient is young, of teens and 20s, and he complains of progressive blurring of the vision or the distortion of the vision. The pictures, as you how the keratoconus person can see the picture like this, where you can see the blurring is there, there is some double vision is there. Okay, the ghost images you can see, and the halos around the lights you can make out, and associated with that ocular irritation will be there, and patient will have, even though he go for the spectacle corrections, it is unsatisfactory because there is a lot of astigmatism is there because of change in the shape of the. So what are the signs? Signs are, that is a very interesting part because the signs in keratoconus are very typical and peculiar. You have to know. Okay. So the patient vision is impaired and he is more of myopic, astigmatism will be there, and the curvature of the cornea with the slit lamp. You can see the Munson sign. Munson sign means whenever the patient is asked to look down, the protrude part of the cornea press the lower lid, okay, the down gaze. So what the exactly you can see in the picture is that called as a Munson sign. And Rizzuti sign. The Rizzuti sign means that there is a corneal reflection on the nasal side. Whenever you put the pen torch on the side, you can see some conical the reflection on the nasal side of the cornea. Okay, so that is called as the Rizzuti. And scissor slip reflex. So when we go for the retinoscope examination, you can see the double image, the crisscrossing each other. So those are called as scissor reflex, especially seen in the retinoscope examination. And all droplet reflection, whenever there is a retroillumination, you can see is done with a slit lamp or with your retinoscope. With the orange background, you can see some darkish the area, that is all drop like thing. It's because of your keratoconus. And other slit lamp examination, you can see the central part of the cornea is thinned. When above and below part of the slit is examined, the central part appears to be more thinned comparing to the superior and the inferior part. That again gives the clue that there is a bulged cornea. Here there are even because of the thinning of the cornea, the nose appears more prominent. So you can see with these nerves with the cobalt blue light. Cobalt blue light helps us. So sometimes around that base of that cone there is some deposition of iron pigments. So that is called as the Fisher's ring. Fisher's ring, that is the iron pigmentation at the base of the cornea. So you can see the ring-like structure, that is a brown ring. Then there are some lines, stress lines, vertical stress lines, because of the breakage in the descemet membrane. You can see the vertical lines in the center of that cone. So those are called as the Oak stripe. Again, the ruptures of the Bowman's membrane, you can sometimes it may go for the scarring also, extensive scarring. Sometimes what happens, there is a sudden rupture. You can see that is oval shaped opening in the center of the cornea. It is because of the sudden rupture of the descemet membrane leads to the gush of aqueous humor entering into the cornea, and that leads to the swelling of the cornea. Okay, and immediately the patients have a blurring of vision with lot of pain and the edema. It's all because of the imbibition of the aqueous. It is called as the acute hydrops in case of keratoconus. Okay, so these are the other some endothelial cell abnormalities like pleomorphism and polymeganism. Also, you can coming to how you can early diagnose, or you can see the progressiveness of the keratoconus. There are some instruments and equipments can diagnose the keratoconus. So you might have seen in our OPD and all, there is a one circular disc like thing with the alternative white and black rings. Those are called as a Placido's disc. So nowadays you have a handheld photokeratoscopy, like how we have the ophthalmoscope. Like that you have a handheld keratoscope where the image of these rings are formed or placed on the cornea, and you see the shape of the maya. Method, what I said now is Placido's disc, where you see the image of these mayas on the first Purkinje image of the cornea, alternate white and black lines. This is how these rings are visible on the cornea. Normally, in normal cornea, these are all equally and normally placed with a equidistance. Okay? But in keratoconus, these Myers are crowded inferiorly. Because of abnormal shape, you can make out the crowding of these Myers inferiorly. Similarly, there is on topography by photokeratoscope also, that is photokeratoscope or the topographer Plestos disc also, you can take the image of the cornea and you can see for the rings or the Myers. The previous was of the normal cornea, this is of keratoconus cornea. You can see the abnormal, the shape of these Myers. Keratometry. Normally in OPD we try to take the curvature of the cornea, that is K1 and K2, what we call it as normally the horizontal and vertical, the Myers. Vertical, the measurement of the curvature of the cornea, what we measure. There's a lot of astigmatism and the abnormality of this keratometric reading will be there. Normally it varies between 42 to 45. If it is more than that, if there is K1 and K2 difference is more than 5 diopter, or there is a abnormal keratometric reading of more than 45 to near around 52, yes, there is, you can suspect that it is a keratometric. Depending upon this keratometric reading, it is divided into mild, moderate and the severe. If less than 45 degree in one of the meridian, it is mild. If it is 45 to 54 in both the meridians, it is not. It is moderate. If it is more than 54, it is very severe. So depending upon the shape, it can be round, it can be conical. Here is the round shape keratoconus. So normally it lies in the center towards the inferior nasal quadrant. It is less than 5 mm in diameter. So in such cases, the contact lens can be very well fitted for the treatment. So what we deal in later part of the treatment. So contact lens can be easily placed in such type of round shape or the nipple type. Oval cornea. The oval cornea where the diameter is more than 5 mm and it is displaced inferiorly. It is not more of the center, it is displaced inferiorly. And it is well advanced keratoconus, so very difficult to place the contact lenses. Globus, Oros tipping of the cornea more than 6 mm, and here the maximum part of the cornea is inward, again very difficult to use the lens. So this is how when you take the cross section of the cornea and see, can make out how the shape can be diagnosed or can be seen. One is nipple type, oval type and the. Now nowadays the well advanced technology where you early diagnose the keratoconus is with the corneal topography. Here the simultaneously you can see the corneal shape, corneal curvature is also measured, and the power, that is astigmatism power in different quadrant or the different part of the cornea you can make out, and even irregularities also measured with a colored photograph. So here when you see, you can see the different colors of the on the topographic images, whereas the red one and other related colors are called as the hot colors, whereas the green and the blue colors are called as the cold colors. So whenever there is a thinning of the cornea, you can make out these hot colors, that is the red color is more. So the steep shows a orange or the red, whereas the flat curvature of the cornea shows the blue or the violet. Usually the normal curvature is depicted in a green and yellow. So ideally sometimes from one topography it varies, but these are the standard colors what we follow. Again you can make out the difference between the both the topographies. The left one is with the symmetrical cornea, that is not keratoconus cornea. All colors are cold colors, whereas in the other part where you see the peripheral part is normal but the central part is steep. That's why it shows the hot colors, that is the red and the orange colors. These are the again topographic different types of keratoconus. Here the normal cornea, sometimes there is the variable in the steepening of the cornea. These are the different types, what we say as the oval, asymmetric bow tie, asymmetric bow tie, asymmetric bow tie which is skewed one, whereas inferior steepening. So this is how the keratoconus you can see the hot colors in a bow tie, asymmetrical bow tie manner, which is central hourglass type. This is a central. There is a one more entity, that is keratoglobus, where overall not only the inferior part of the cornea is involved, the entire cornea is involved, whereas the maximum more than 75% of the cornea is, that time we call it as a keratoglobus.